Hello and welcome to another October game, which is the scariest month of the year. Let's go ahead and say this is the second game in the series. If you haven't watched the first, you should have watched the first. We're going to be doing another cast with the co-commentator. His name is Mr. Duckaroony,
Hello.
Also known as Please Leave Duck, or RSM, or the Big Quacker. Hello.
Many names, many names. Once again, starting off with all three buildings, Crypt, Altar, Zig.
Right. We will introduce our players real quick, just to be sure in case anyone didn't see the first game. In the lower left, we have Please Leave Duck spawning in as the light blue undead, and in the upper right, we have Moon spawning in as the blue night elf. Moon has retired since he's in the army now, I believe. So these games were played a few months ago. So for anyone wondering, that's what that's all about. That's yeah.
Chooses the Demon Hunter.
That's sensible. Warden is very good on Twisted Meadows, but not nearly as strong on this map, I feel.
Yeah, right away you see a Demon Hunter. It's likely just to be one Ancient War, one Archer, maybe two, then Tech. So it's gonna be probably a completely different play from Moon this game, which is nice to see.
It's always good to switch it up, and really, especially if you're trying to beat a guy they just played. Even though what happened last game happened, it's always nice to switch it up.
This game, you see me not Ghoul Scout, because as you can see, Moon is Ancient War creeping in camp right next to his base. There'd be no way for me to really get to his base to lay that. I can't really put much pressure on him, so it's better just to get the lumber and get that tech a lot sooner.
That's a good analysis.
And you saw what Moon did with his archer. He got the lightning shield. When you start repairing the Ancient War, if you put your archer next to the repairing wisp, the little renegade wizard will cast lightning shield. And then you just put your archer next to the 3 creeps and you can do damage for free pretty much.
The only thing you have to be careful about right there is not letting the lightning shield get the last hit.
Yes, that is. There's many face palms that have happened because of that.
Many a face palm.
This map's really good for critters, so I try to get that, but at the start I went coil first because I saw a wisp, and I actually did the stop thing to make him detonate, and I instantly regretted it because now I have to run away because I don't have aura, and he can just chase me in mana burn.
That is the one downside to not having the unholy aura.
Always save your skill. And then that ends up hurting me because I run all the way home, and then that lets him creepjack me here.
And you waited to do the mana burn right up until you did the coil.
I know.
Because he was like, maybe it's a goal push. Maybe he's gonna go for the unholy aura and I need immolation. Probably not, but maybe.
Oh yeah, it's likely that he hasn't used this skill yet, unless you see an evasion. Most elves will like if I get a ghoul surround or if I do a 2 crypt rush, he'll skill immolation, and it's just really strong with dealing with the ghouls.
Yeah, so obviously you get to use your coil pretty aggressively here because it's better that than getting burned.
It's either use it or lose it, pretty much.
It's a very zero-sum type of game.
And see, exactly,
Level
he saves
2.
the skill, gets surrounded, and then uses it. Or skills it and then uses it.
Yeah. Which is, it's really good to do that because evasion obviously is the better choice in the mid and the late game, but in the early game, that immolation can save your life.
Oh, definitely.
And kill everything that your opponent has at the same time. This is not the best fighting position for you. It looks like you're trying to get out of it. These creeps, though, just barreling down on those ghouls.
I was very upset about not having aura. So Moon went with 4 archers. That's interesting. That's a pretty good number because the gold mine on these map, it's pretty tough with the rock golem and the little slow golems. So you do need a couple to effectively creep that and keep your Ancient War alive. So I like his choice to go for 4, and it definitely helps you with the middle.
I would also say not only is it just that that's a tough creep, that's 2 slows and 2 ensnares. So 1 archer, if you get harassed, could easily get taken down by just like a death knight, really.
Oh, definitely. Even 4 archers is still kind of risky. You have to have good awareness of where the undead is. You get creepjack there, and that can just end the game sometimes.
Oh, beautiful micro with these ghouls here.
Yeah, they get the double surround on the archers. That helps a lot because he wants to creep that. You can see the Ancient War going over there now.
Rainbow. Sorry.
That's fine. He gets the staff on the Demon Hunter. I like that choice. A lot of ghoul usage early, a lot of harassing with the Demon Hunter. You don't want to look away and then get surrounded and have to TP, because then the undead just creeps and you can't find them. So
Yeah.
then you have to be paranoid. I like that choice. Probably going to see the Panda. Would be surprised to see anything else.
And I will say this, I liked how you coiled right before your mana burn, so it was a 4 mana burn. Always good.
It's always good to not have any mana.
It's always good to be completely when they try to make you It's good. Lich coming out. Graveyard completing.
So with 2 archers, 2 ghouls, creep a gold mine. That'd be fair.
You just get your necropolis first, and then you're like, oh, it shoots lasers. Like, oh, wait, what? You know, in Reign of Chaos, the Black Citadel and the Halls of the Dead does piercing damage. It was like 20 to 30.
Yeah, it did a lot more damage though. I like the cold a lot better.
The cold is definitely much better in almost all situations, but it would be nice if it did like 40 to 50 cold damage. If it hit like a frostworm.
So, because Moon only had 2 archers, he had to have his Demon Hunter there, and that lets me creep out this camp without any problems, letting me get level 3. I get to regenerate my mana, and I just get to do whatever I want, really. Tech up freely, no worries. So, it's a good spot for me right now. He got his both of his lures before teching, so he's getting a couple of Dryads, playing it safe.
And I would say you kind of went with an interesting strategy. We don't normally see, I would say, people who go for the Lich and then the Tech and then the Slaughterhouse. Normally we tend to see is the Slaughterhouse and the Lich, or the Tech and then the Lich. Is there any particular reason for that, or just...
Pretty much for middle control, because either he's going to Ancient War creep this middle, which he's going to do it now, but either he'll do that first or the gold mine, and I wanted that early presence to try to deny that. Like right now, I just try to just bully my way into here, like nuke the Demon Hunter, make him run, try to play aggressive, get all the creep camps. And then
it's working. It's actually working really well.
I got the mana pot just in case things got dicey, or just in case I can get like that clutch nuke on the hero.
Right. And that's gotta feel good, grabbing that creep up right before he was going for it, because obviously he's wasted a bunch of time with that Ancient of War now. Bring it on across. He's gonna maybe chase those ghouls down. Hopefully he doesn't get too many kills. And this is the Dryad. It's kind of low. You're gonna try to block it with those 2 ghouls. It's gonna be nice. You're focusing it down with the Fiend. Unfortunately, it does get the kill, and then he gets the staff out. Oh, and another ghoul going down to these micro Dryads.
Yeah, the Fiend just came out a little bit too late. The Fiend a little sooner would have helped a lot with the Dryads, as the piercing does do extra damage. And ITP electing to save it.
It sounds like a bad decision in some cases if you say, oh well, it's 250 gold for the TP, it's 215 for the Fiend, but you know, the Fiend gives 40 XP to those heroes basically, and you know, and it's if you lose the Fiend, that's map control right there that you're losing. Losing the TP, you don't really probably need the TP against this composition of heroes anyway. At least not anytime soon, because they're kind of low.
Yeah, the Dryads are low. He wouldn't be able to take a fight right now.
And his Sentry Ward position.
Isn't that fair?
Just gonna be able to see that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, we can see the whole map.
Fair enough.
Am I right? Yeah.
Fair enough.
Alright, so he's at tier 3 now. He's definitely gonna get that Druid of the Claw upgrade. Lets him turn to bear form. It's gonna really help him in fights. And it looks like I'm going for the Destroyer Frenzy Ghoul composition again.
Which is always powerful. What do you favor against the Demon Hunter Panda as a 3rd hero?
Ooh, that's a tough... I personally... I don't even get a 3rd hero sometimes, but if I do, it's definitely a Naga.
Definitely a Naga. Yeah, sometimes you just need the experience on your heroes more. And like on a map like this, it's got a couple red creeps, but when are you going to have the chance to creep those, realistically?
I think the best combo would probably be DK, Naga 2nd, then a Lich. So right when you hit tier 2, you hit with the Naga and your ghouls, and you just focus down the archers.
We see that pretty often nowadays with the tier 3 timing push, whenever that's designed to hit right as the expo starts to finish.
Yeah, it's really good because that's slow. I mean, it's just you focus down the archers. It's really hard to microverse it. And then you have like 8 or 9 ghouls against like 3 to 6 archers. I mean, it's really tough for the elves to micro that.
And this fight is going on. He's been chasing that Fiend down, finally going to pick it off, but we do see these two bears. They have gone into bear form. Going for the Fiends first, just kind of like you going for the Archers and the Dryads here. Unfortunately, it's a little bit harder to keep those guys alive because they are slowed by slow poison so often, and just a little bit of wonderful micro coming out of that Dryad right there, blocking the Fiend as he runs away from the ghouls.
Just such a good fight for Moon. He has the staffs, he has the big units. The double staff is just so good for these big, expensive units. And then he has the Dryads for the slow, and definitely a great fight for him.
Absolutely. I like how you... Oh.
Missed the Devour on the idle unit.
So close. Which maybe, you know, maybe you're expecting him to try to dodge it, you know. Mind games.
My Destroyer micro is not the best.
It's harder than it looks, though, so don't feel so bad.
The unit was not moving.
Look. It's harder than it looks, okay?
And then Moon just being Moon, not afraid of his low health hero. Perfect response.
As soon as that Death Knight raised his arm, he's like, nope, getting out of here.
Mind, this is a Korean player playing on an American host. That is not easy to do.
No, that's a very good point. Who is? I guess this was probably the Bidu host, or was it
one
Canadian
host?
Clans?
Yeah, it was Bidu, Canadian host. Oh, I guess it was probably a Zotac host, but still from the
Americas.
Americas.
Yeah, still American.
Even on no ping, that'd be hard to do.
Once again, getting the Abomination out for the Disease Cloud. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's also a good tank too, because notice he's been like shuffling his Dryads around while his bears separated, so he's been separating them a lot. So I figured if I can get the Abomination in a good position and then kind of kite with my Fiends, like could come back. And then this is gets his Demon Hunter really low in that fight, and probably gonna. Oh, it does not have mana yet to heal it.
Yeah, so I was looking at the mana on the bears. I'm like, man, that's got to be a rough situation for Moon to be trying to take a fight in right now.
So what I did is I tried to drag the creep back so that if he did engage, I'd be in a good position instead of like stuck in here getting double snared. Almost killed the Demon Hunter, but
17 HP TP, or staff rather. That bear should go down though because the staff's on cooldown, and you got the Destroyer focusing it. Nice, picking up level 4 on the Death Knight.
Demon Hunter does have a staff though. Should look to see him staff back in the fight soon. That is a really good. I mean, that staff has used all game long. Early game harassment, you can't get surrounded, and then you can get staffed out in big fights, heal, and then just staff right back in.
And really, I don't know what he's doing, but I guess he was maybe waiting for the bears if he was playing efficient. No, he definitely used Moonwell mana. I don't know why it took so long to get back in the fight. Maybe he was deciding if he wanted to actually just retreat.
And now I'm out of mana in a fight that was going well. Oh, the sheep blocked him.
Nice. 16 HP on the Death Knight.
You should take a Fiend hit but live.
Aw, and he is going to micro that guy away. He's not even afraid because he knows how much mana is on the Death Knight. Although you're going to force the Panda out if you get some nice blocking here. That Death Knight, or the... Oh.
Right there, I noticed he had a greater health pot. If he didn't, I would have actually Dark Ritualed the Abomination for mana.
Oh, yeah.
But
that would have been
worth it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, that would have been a really cool play.
Dark Ritual it, then he potions, and I just facepalm.
You're just like, ah. Right off the bat, immediately going into a creep. Moon probably assuming that as he's kind of running right across the map, just with like the worst positioning if he tries to engage here. But I guess he just wants to scare you.
I was trying to get my Lich level 3 here. Would have put me in a really good position in this game, but Moon with his very good game sense knows to go and get the perfect creep jack. Great staff on the Dryad.
Wow.
And then I'm fighting the creeps and his army at the same time with low mana.
And the Demon Hunter are going to have that rejuvenation just kind of, even though he doesn't really need it there, if he keeps it high enough, then he doesn't have to worry about it getting eaten by the Destroyer. When he's getting low. And of course, there's just not enough mana right now for you to really keep nuking him down.
And even the Hippogriff.
Yeah.
Did not expect that, did not have web ready for that. I couldn't even really afford web.
It's crazy how effective one Hippogriff can be, even if you have like 4 Destroyers. Because it just does so much damage. Yeah.
And then do you waste a Coil Nova on it? Probably not. Not in the first Demon Hunter.
Yeah, because you don't have the mana to. You can't afford to do it. And you need the nukes so bad on those bears and the heroes. It's a difficult position once you've run out of mana against this composition.
I've noticed my biggest problems for Elf is when I run out of mana. Like, fights go well and then you're out of mana and it's like, well, guess my lich dies.
It's a lot of your DPS, and obviously it's so important for your survivability. Oh,
I destroy your flies over the golems. Not intentional.
well, that's one way to do it. Alright, as you dark ritual. And there's the elf. He's just Moon going ahead, regrouping up a little bit. Maybe he wants to get a little bit more creep on this orange shop over here. Pick up some healing scrolls. Wouldn't be a bad thing.
Yeah, right here I see I'm behind. I'm getting my supply back up. I want to get to 50 and bank, but I know I can't let him creep the map. He has a supply hero advantage. I have to try to get at least one of these creeps and then get the red and jack him at the red would be the best case scenario. But he just has his demon hunter on me at all times, but I have to take the risk at this point.
And it's a risk you're going to take. It could pay off, absolutely. And that demon hunter, he's going to get kind of low. He's going to run away. Probably just going to go heal up with that bear that he's brought down conveniently.
Yeah, very good by Moon to know that that's probably going to happen and send the bear down.
Oh,
and I'm already out of mana.
It's such a bad spot. He's ensnared.
Did I have to destroy the creep? Oh, he's ensnared. Okay.
Oh.
Yes, Moon with a very good TP. He's always looking at his heroes.
Yeah, it would be nice if we could if this actually had a good auto camera for players.
That's one thing I've noticed though. Sometimes he'll forget to spend his money because he's so focused on his micro. He's so good at it.
That is, it's probably not the worst problem to have.
His micro's too good.
It's like, you got too good at this one thing. And this fight is not going to be looking in the best position for the undead player. Yeah, kind of surrounded, not really able to get out of there because just a line of dryads just raining down, and that was going to be a good game called by Duck. So do you have any post-game analysis that you would say is the major key points for that game, or?
Just really well played by Moon. The fights in the middle for those middle two creeps. Had that fiend come out just a little bit sooner, that game could have looked completely different. Really good micro and staffing by Moon, and knowing where to go with his army.
Absolutely, I will definitely agree with that. Moon played that fantastically. I mean, every single time that you were about to get an advantage on the map, he was just running across the map with like his dryads way out in front and his bears in the middle, his heroes trailing behind because they were still healing up. But that was game number 2. And so we're going to go ahead and watch game number 3. We're going to go to break for just a few minutes. So if you're watching on YouTube, the next video will be up pretty soon tonight or tomorrow night, whatever. It'll be the same day that it'll be up soon. So thanks for watching. We'll go to break and we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.